Obviously going to be a tough final. Spain have been the best team to watch by far in this tournament, although I was encouraged by the way England played in the first half of that semi-final. We definitely saw some better football from England than we've seen throughout the tournament. It's kind of a battle of beauty be the beast. England have grinded out results all the way through this tournament. I do think they've come this far now. I do think they've got the kind of extra belief that you need. They've found themselves in a lot of tricky situations and they've got themselves out of that. So ultimately, I think England will win.
Well, I don't agree. Spain had to see Georgia go up front and come back from that. The game against Germany. I don't think Spain hasn't seen themselves in tough situations. I just think the team has really managed.
I understand the point completely. I think Spain have been in some difficult situations, but nothing compared to the situations that England have found themselves. I do also just think that playing against a better team will suit England. I think there'll be more space and there'll be more that England can do with the ball to manipulate on the break. I think that's why they played better against Holland. So I'm hoping that the same thing will happen against Spain, and also just those options from the bench. I think England have got so many weapons as well. I do think if it's a tight game, which I think it will be, the fact that England can turn to so many good players on the substitutes bench like they did last night, I do think that's a game changer.
I generally agree on the fact that if you take it player by player, England is full of stars, but it's proven, not only in the Euros, but in general with national teams, that stars just don't guarantee anything. We've got one of the youngest teams that Spain has had, so I think our bench might not be as full of stars, not even the lineup, as England, but I do think we have a better team overall. My prediction for the final is 2-1 with a win for Spain in the extra time, with our young star Lamine Yamal scoring the final goal, and basically the game being a little bit of the reflex of the tournament for both teams.
It's a fair prediction. I can't argue with anything that's been said, but there's no way I'm going to come on here and predict anything but England to win. I was going to say that I think it will go to extra time as well. I think it will be 1-1. I will say I'm very, very wary that in the big games, Rodri always seems to score a big goal, so I'm worried about that in this final. But I think it'll go 1-1, and then England, as I said earlier, have got so many different players that they can bring on to try and change the game or see a game out. I think England's attacking talent off the bench will win them the game, and England will win 2-1 in extra time. Georgina, it's coming home.
Well, I don't think so. Nos la llevamos a casa.
So if I could pick one player to join England from the Spain team for this final, it would definitely be, I mean, there's a lot of choice there. They've got so many fantastic players, but it would have to be Rodri. He is the most complete defensive midfielder in world football. He's got that big game experience. He scored in big finals previously as well. Always seems to turn up for Manchester City when they need a goal. So, you know, going into a final, I don't think there's anyone better that you could pick from the Spain team than Rodri, because he's absolutely unbelievable.
If I could pick one player from the England squad, I would also have a hard time picking because there are so many stars. But looking at the Spanish squad at the moment, I think Jude Bellingham would be the best addition to the team. Great for attack. Also knows a lot of the players already in the squad. He's young and he would be the perfect spark to make it easier in the final.
Yeah, that's probably a fair pick, because you're not going to pick any of the wide players, because Spain's wide players have been absolutely incredible.
Football-wise, I would give them Morata. Especially if I could trade him for Bellingham. I don't dislike Morata, but I think we could have a better player overall in attack. I think the rest, they do their job and they do it well. But if I had to pick someone from the starting 11, I would go with Morata.
I actually quite like Morata. I think I wouldn't have him in the England team, because I think that probably at least two of the centre forwards that England have are better than Morata. But I actually have always quite liked him. I think he's a decent forward. He's not always easy on the eye, but I think he's got great movement and he can be a good instinctive finisher. But he does also miss easy chances as well. But I wouldn't want him in the England team now. So is Gareth Southgate the best England manager of all time? I think at this point, probably not. And even if he does win it, he's probably going to be the second best England manager of all time, but he's certainly by an absolute distance the best England manager we've had in my life. The longevity that he's shown into his fourth tournament now, the fact that, you know, getting to the quarterfinals is the worst thing that's happened to England under Southgate's tenure. I mean, England were getting knocked out by Iceland before Southgate came in. I think what he's harnessed with England, with the team spirit and getting it more like a club team atmosphere, I don't think that can be underestimated. I think that's something that will be a legacy of Gareth Southgate that will always be able to be carried forward because of what Southgate's done. He's blessed with having some brilliant footballers, but England have had brilliant footballers in the past and still done absolutely nothing. So I think Southgate is right up there. If he wins the Euros on Sunday, I think it's probably a different discussion. I think maybe you could argue that he is, but at the moment, unless he wins something, I don't think you could say he's the best England manager of all time. I do think the nation as a whole is a little bit unfair on Gareth Southgate previously. I think he's had a lot of stick in every tournament, really, because of the way that England have played their football. But I think you always look at it, and very rarely does the team that plays swashbuckling football go all the way and win a tournament. It's usually the team that can grind out results and that's solid at the back, and that's what England have always been under Southgate. I've always backed him. I found it difficult in this tournament because I do think they've been particularly bad, particularly in the group stage. But as the tournament's gone on, you feel like there's a bit of momentum and a bit of a belief that's coming with this England team now. And Gareth Southgate will be a huge part of that. I don't think he should ever be someone who's getting abused, getting things thrown at him by England fans. I think that's absolutely disgusting for what he's done for this country as a player and as a manager. I can always understand frustrations, and we're always going to question things that he does, but he does just seem to have this knack and this tournament know-how. So I think he's been a breath of fresh air overall, and you know, I think he will leave after this Euros, and I think it will be sad. I think when he leaves, I think people will truly appreciate what he's done for this country, and I hope that he can leave with a trophy in the cabinet.
I think this definitely could be one of the most historical wins for Spain due to the youth in the team, and also Spain becoming the country with the most Euros. So this would definitely be a mark. Time will say. There's been other historical Euros. Winning 2 back-to-back is also like a historic thing for the country, obviously. But I agree on the fact that this could be the most historical one. Time will say, but I did think so.
Dani Olmo. Saka. Bukayo Saka.
Well done. 2-1.
2-1.
Ruiz.
No. Moreno.
Yes. 2-1.
2-1. Xavi Simons.
Kane. Cole Palmer. Watkins.
Okay.
I like Unai Simon a lot, so I'm gonna stick with Unai Simon over Pickford.
Well, I don't see loads of Unai Simon in general football because I don't watch loads of La Liga, but it always seems to have a dodgy moment in a game. I know Pickford's had that previously as well, but for England, Pickford has been absolutely brilliant, arguably the best goalkeeper that England have had in my time on this planet. He's just always seems to step up in the big occasion. When it goes to penalties, he always seems to make a crucial save. So yeah, I think even though he's absolutely nuts, I would pick Jordan Pickford.
No, I don't agree. He's a fantastic goalkeeper. He has been one of the least scored against goalkeepers in La Liga, and he has also not conceded this many games during the Euros. I think he's proven to be solid, and also he's a great penalty taker. So we'll see about that.
I just think Spain's best goalkeeper is on the bench. I think David Raya is better than some. I think he's unbelievable. Raya, I've always really liked him, even when he was at Brentford. So yeah, I think Simon might be the third best goalkeeper across the two teams.
I mean, I haven't followed that much Raya, and now he's playing in Arsenal and this, but I know about Unai Simon, and if De La Fuente is picking him, I mean, we have only seen some minutes from Raya. In the Argentina game, Albania, I think it was. Obviously, he was good, but he wasn't. He also he did concede, I think, against Albania. Well, I don't know, but I would never play Raya before Unai Simon, given at least the experience or the way that he just handles the goal.
First one is Portugal and Greece in 2004. It was special because I watched this final with my mom, and my mom loves history. She's a teacher, so I was excited to see Cristiano Ronaldo play. He was very young, and by the time I was thinking about be a professional player, so I watched the final, and I would like to see Cristiano wins, and it's not happening. Greece won that final, and my mom was happy to see Greece, and I was happy to see Portugal. So it was special because I watched side by side with her and my dad. The second great memory that I have was in 2016 when Portugal won the Euros, faced France, and it was special because I am a huge fan of Cristiano Ronaldo and especially his work ethic. Cristiano was great, not just because he scored goals, but his mindset, his leadership showed me that football player is more than what he did at the pitch. Out of the pitch, he was great and was special.
The Euros always bring, the best football and great excitement. And my personal best Euro moments was the 2004 Euro final between Greece and Portugal. It was a story of Goliath and David, whereby an underdog went all the way through to the final, and they won, which was Greece. There were lots and lots of expectations that Portugal was going to win the game, with the quality that they had. But on the day, it was Greece who wanted it more, and it was a good story for football. And the second one would be 2016 final, Portugal against France. It was a tough game, and I think a lot of people had expected that Portugal will win, and Cristiano Ronaldo will have a big impact and influence on that game. However, it was not the case with Cristiano because he got injured, and once again it was a good story for football. Having one of your best players in the team, best players in the world, not being able to continue with the game, and then players step up for him and their nation to emerge victorious.